Hey guys, welcome to No Spoilers, where I tell you all the movie and TV shows you need to know, and I'll tell you all you need to know without knowing it all.
Pop that thing. I'ma show you how to make your man say, oh.
Before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and click that notifications bell so you do not miss an episode. So first, we're going to talk about Cheer Season 2 on Netflix. This show really touches my heart because I was a collegiate dancer and I was a part of NDA and went to NDA Cheer and Dance Nationals in Daytona. And even when I was in college, I was a film major and I would watch us practice. I would watch the cheerleaders practice. And it was like, I feel like no one understood like the time and dedication that all of us going to nationals like had to give, and like the things we had to sacrifice. And I was even in my film class, my like capstone. We had to come up with ideas for what we want to do with our capstone. And I told my professor, I was like, what if I did a documentary on our other dance team going to nationals? Because they went to a nationals called UDA and we went to NDA. Because their season ended around Christmas and ours went all year until the spring semester. So anyways, I was like, what if I did a documentary on like how much people practice and work hard and have to learn all these skills and they get hurt and they break their ankles and people get injured and all this stuff. And my professor was like, yeah, I don't know how like you're going to do that. Like, I don't know, I think there's something better that you can do. Thanks. So now we have a lovely production company that invented Cheer on Netflix, and I really hope they create like a dance on Netflix because Cheer is crazy, but like, oh my gosh, like the things and the drama and the situations that happened when I was on dance team in college were just insane. And like it's like your whole life. It's your whole life, and I feel like people just they have no idea. And so I just love the fact that we go into this life of people just wanting to get that ring at Daytona to get on the band shell, and it's just really fun to watch. And but season 2 of Cheer on Netflix. Ladarius? Honey, what's going on? If you follow him on Instagram, you will see that there is some tea. So I need you to watch this show so you can see the tea that is Ladarius on Cheer on Netflix. There is situations that happen between him and Monica, him with people on the other team, something about a dog. There's a duck named Rebecca. I don't know, but it's a lot more drama than before. And what was really cool to watch from season 1 to season 2 was seeing the differences between before anybody knew them and now that they're like this huge cheer phenomena, and like everyone's perspective on that. People that are on the team, people that are in their town, people that are the knowns. Like Morgan is one of my favorite people on this show. I love Morgan. I just want to hug her. She's just so sweet, but she's one of the people that I loved watching season 1. And so seeing season 2 after they blew up is really fascinating to watch, just like from like a sociological standpoint. Because fame changes people, guys. You're going to have to watch and find out, but fame changes people. And it was crazy to watch it as they're famous now and they're doing all these ads and they're doing all these things, but they still have to go to nationals. Like their competition life hasn't stopped and they are not guaranteed to win at Daytona just because they have a Netflix show. So seeing that dynamic with them, like being on top of the world and seeing like their worth ethic after being on top of the world and seeing how everybody else around them is kind of moving in the moving parts, especially Monica, is just interesting. We also get to see some fun rivalries on Cheer season 2, and it is with the Trinity Valley Community College. And one person that I have always watched on Instagram is this amazing cheerleader and tumbler named Angel Rice from Texas. And her brother joined the team. And I mean, she's the Simone Biles of cheerleading. So yeah, I think like when you're watching season 1, it's like you're all for, it's like we're watching Remember the Titans. You're just like, well, this is going to have to be the outcome. Like I'm stressed, like I'm for it. And then Cheer season 2 comes around and now they're kind of adding both their rivals' story. Like they have like full stories with the rivalry team, not just Navarro. So that is like really cool to watch. And I think it's just, it brings it all. Bring it on. Cheer brings it all. It's got the drama, the tears. We finally figured out like the whole situation that happened with Jerry. So trigger warning essay when you are watching Cheer on Netflix. They bring up the Jerry situation that happened this past year. And, you know, that whole thing and how that affected people, how it affected the people that he affected and the people around him. So yeah, it's all around. It's an amazing show. I like pray that they have a season 3 because I need to see what happens next to these people because I like really hope they have a season 3 because I really just I'm so invested now. Like I need to know what happens in their life. I'm invested, and I also just need to I need an explanation from Ladarius. So watch the show. Go in the comments and tell me what you thought about Ladarius. Go on his Instagram. Tell me what you feel about Ladarius and get back to me. If you are loving what you are watching or hearing right now, make sure you hit that notifications bell and comment what you think about Cheer on Netflix. Next, we're going to talk about Euphoria on HBO. You can check it out on streaming. And before we get started on Euphoria, I would just like to say that Manny Santos ran so that Maddie Perez could run. And that is all I'm going to say about that. So I love Euphoria. I'm so glad it's finally back because of COVID ruining everybody's life. We had to wait, I think, 2 years for Euphoria to come back out. I mean, Zendaya won an Emmy for this show. I mean, that should just say everything that needs to be said about this show. The cinematography, the music, the character development. Like, this show has it all. And honestly, I feel like this show does what 13 Reasons couldn't do, because it has a lot of the similar dark experiences that young adults go through. But I 100% think that they're showing it in a way that is more artistically put together than just like shock value. Because I remember when 13 Reasons Why came out and I knew what the show was about. And, you know, there was school drama and relationships and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like at the end of the day, it was just like in your face and it was shock. And it was like very matter of fact, where it just kind of went from point A to point B. And then it went on for the second season. And then it just got really messy. And it was like, okay, we're going to like take this show off because this is going nowhere. Whereas Euphoria, it's like the character development tells like a full circle story. I mean, one of my favorite things about watching certain shows is the way certain writers write the show. I mean, if you can intrigue me to be so excited to wait till next week to see what happens, then you're doing your job. Because not a lot of TV shows do that. Euphoria does that. You need to find out. That's what we've been waiting for like 2 years to find out what happens from like the previous season, especially everything going on in Rue's life and you know, her relationship and how that played out in the first season. So the second season is really kind of bringing it in your face, but in the most artistic way. There's a lot of new situations that happen. There's a lot of drama that's going on, but like every character has their own very specific character development and character arc, that it's not this like one-sided, oh, go to point A to point B. It's so complicated. And I really feel like life imitates art. And that's why I love shows like this, because it shows like both things can be true, right? You can be happy and you can be sad at the same time. Like you can love this person, but you can hate this person. Like you could love your life, but you could also like be doing these horrible things in your life. And I love that they show all of these complexities about each character. And a lot of people who are older than me could possibly say like, this is no way like that any of this is real. Like this is so dramatic, this is that. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like when I was in high school, not like exactly to the T, but there were a lot of situations in this show that I remember happening or seeing to people that were my age in high school. And that's what like makes it real. Like, yeah, we don't want to accept that there's teenagers doing these really adult things, but this is the reality of it. And I feel like kids have a lot more access to these things than I even did when I was in high school 10 years ago. So I think it's a great show. It is acted out amazingly. The story's great. And one of my favorite parts about the show is the dark humor. I am a very big dark humor person, and there's a lot of deep and dark stuff that happens in this show. But every once in a while, a character will just say something that is just so like offhand or something really relatable that isn't actually funny, but like it's really funny, because when bad things are happening in your life, sometimes you just have to laugh at like how crazy or stupid situations are, or like how deep far that you've got in a certain situation. And I relate to that a lot, because there'll be, you know, a really dark scene, or there'll be like a sad scene going on, and Zendaya, who plays Rue, will just say something so nonchalant, and I'm just like, this is why you got an Emmy, Zendaya. And honestly, I want to be on this show so bad. So if anyone happens to know anybody that knows the producers or the director of Euphoria, HBO, give me a call. My people will call your people. I would love to be on the show. I admire everything that is happening. And I know this is going to be picked up for a season 3. So you need to watch season 2. It is on HBO. And another part that makes me happy about the show is that we finally get to see Dr. Sloan back on television. If you don't know who Dr. Sloan is from Grey's Anatomy, honey, you're missing out. But Dr. Sloan, he's back on TV with a reoccurring role, and a very different character than he was on Grey's Anatomy. But like either way, this man's face is beautiful. This man's face is beautiful. They also are showing like behind the scenes, like visuals and stories after the episode. I just watched episode 2 of season 2, and after they kind of had like where the actors came on and talked about their characters and talked about how their development was going, and just the cinematography of the show is just so beautiful. The lighting, how they light people, the wardrobe, I feel like fits everybody to a T. And someone that just went to film school, I geek out on cinematography and how a director talks to the DP and how they think of a certain visual and how the audience should see something, and be able to be front row of these people's lives. And I just think that's really beautiful. I love being able to be in like the writers and the director's head and being like, okay, so how did they want the scene to play out, and how did they want this to look? How did they want this to feel? Like, how is it going to sound with the music, and how do they want to storytell? So visually, the show is also extremely beautiful. And for you film geeks out there, you will absolutely enjoy the show. So make sure you check out Euphoria season 2 out on HBO. You can find it on the HBO app as well. Thanks for watching. No spoilers, guys. Make sure you watch my previous episodes, and you find me on Instagram and TikTok at TheBrookeJ, and I'll see you guys next time.